Oh, no interruptions, guys. We're hitting you with it. Hit us. Oh no, I'm gonna start the introductions on this one,
Go for
Merlin.
it, Tim.
I'm gonna go for it. Spawning in the color blue, playing as the Holy Roman Empire, using that prelate, spreading the word of the Lord Jesus Christ all along to those villagers. It is VortiX and Merlin. Who is he playing against?
He's going to be playing up against B, playing as the English, spawning in on the left-hand side of the map, going out immediately for the board with those 6 villagers. Something that we see a lot out of the English on this map. You know, they're more than happy to come out here. And I think that's a big benefit about playing as the English on this map. You deny away the boar from your opponent, because any civilization is going to be more than happy to come out here for the boar. But if you've got short bows, which the English villagers do, it's going to be impossible for Vortex to come out here for that boar. So I think that's what's really nice here about the English. Obviously, they're very good on this map when it comes to their longbow. You know, not really having to move that far out with them to be able to do damage. It's something we talk about a lot, right? The English, they can't overextend with longbow. But on this map, it's pretty much impossible to overextend.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head with the English villagers, and that's a little piece of history. I know I talked about it in previous casts, but English villagers, peasants, serfs in this medieval time, they all learned how to use a bow. So that's why those English have those short bows. And for them, they're becoming, in Dark Age, kind of more of a military / economic unit. When they're able to venture out in the middle of the clearing, they can pull that pork over to the mill, and they're going to be pretty much unbothered. But B's going to be doing something else with those villagers.
B, you need to be
militaristic
careful
with it.
You need to be careful. What is the plan here? He's going around to the gold. He needs to be so careful about this TC ring. Oh, man. Vortex, he's not reacting to it, though. He's just trying to get in enough gold for the age up. He gets in enough gold. It has this coming a little bit late from B. I feel like if you're going to do this, this needs to be immediate, right?
You asked rhetorically. You were like, oh, what is the plan here from B? And I'll tell you what the plan is. It's chaos. And that's exactly what B is doing. Lumberkin, not even taking the gold. He's going to take the trees out of the HRE province right beside that mountain clearing. But Vortex, you're right. He does have the gold. He got 203 gold, so he's going to be going up with the Aachen Chapel. I'll tell you what, maybe if B didn't go for the boar instead and just took those 5 villagers and went around and just started wreaking havoc on that gold mine that way, I think it would have been more devastating for Vortex. But you're right, just that 5 or 10 seconds too late. And that Aachen Chapel is going to go up at the same time it would have if those villagers weren't there.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm curious to see what B is planning here with these 5 villagers. Because I assume he's going to be going for a little bit of a tower here. Maybe even a tower over here to try and deny away as much wood from Vortex as possible. Because if you get down a tower here and here... What? What is going on here? Tim?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Send it. Hit him with the council hall right by the gold mine. I don't care. Defenders advantage my ass. Okay, that's what that council hall is going to be doing. He's going to be pushing Longbowman right into Vortex's face. We talk about mountain clearing being a quote-unquote meme map, and it plays like King of the Hill, whatever. Try that on King of the Hill. See what happens.
This is absolutely bonkers. I mean, Vortex is going to be building a stable now, but he's not going to be able to get out any sort of horsemen before this tower goes up. He has the right amount of villagers here to be able to all hop inside of that outpost. Oh, I'm struggling to see what... But I'm just amazed right now because... Sure, you're getting... This is cool and all. You're going to be able to make longbow behind the base. But does it really achieve much? You could have just made it in your base in a nice, safe position, and you wouldn't have to really walk that far to be able to do damage with the longbow. But, oh man, this is absolutely bonkers. Are we going to see a whole proxy base behind the base here, do you think?
I think there is a potential to, especially with Vortex going with the stable first. I mean, obviously, if B's playing the English, you kind of have to expect that you're going to see a stable from the opposing player. So it's a good thing he got that outpost up because it'll preserve those villagers and could preserve potential longbowmen that come out. But I think if you're going to preserve a longbowman mass, putting a barracks there is probably a good idea. I mean, you already put your landmark there. You could throw a barracks down too.
The edge up comes through. And maybe this is the plan here for B. Because everything gets pulled here for VortiX. The first longbow is going to be coming out. Unfortunately, though, I think they're just going to get immediately taken out by the horsemen. Sure, B's going to be able to get some villager kills here. I think he's going to be able to get 2. Maybe he can pick off that last one with the short bows. That is indeed what he's going to be able to do. But horseman coming out now from VortiX. He's up to 3 here. Those longbows are going to get immediately taken out. Villagers going to be immediately returning back to the gold here. The outpost already coming up. And that's going to be some dead villagers now for B. Trying to go for a little bit of a quick wall. I mean, he's going to be losing at least 2 of them. And the horseman can just go around this way as well. What are these walls coming down from B? He blocks it. He blocks it. VortiX is waiting for the other horsemen to come around here. B, he's in shambles right now. Look at the walls. So many walls coming through. What are we watching, Tim? What are we watching?
I'm so glad you were commentating throughout this because I'm just enjoying the show. I'm watching these villagers dodge, dip, dive, duck, and dodge all the way around these horsemen building all of these walls. You mentioned quick walls. We quick gated. We quick walled for the 3rd and 4th time. One of these things that when you're going for a strategy like this, you have to do more damage to your opponent than you are to yourself. Looking at it right now, economy at 23 to 21 in favor of VortiX. So more villagers lost on the way of B. You can see that on the lower left part of your screen, 4 to 2. And now he just has a random council hall in the enemy's base.
And the thing is, this isn't going to be able to make any more longbow. We've got a tower here. We got horsemen here. Maybe if this was Age of Empires 2, where you could garrison units inside of your production buildings, this could be a different story. But unfortunately, that is not the case here for 3DB. And we see he's making longbow, but they're just going to get immediately taken out here. And this is why I got a question. Why the council hall behind the base? Because you can still find value with a council hall in the base here. It's not like you're walking miles to find the enemy base. I'm just amazed.
And that's one of the reasons why English is so good on mountain clearing. Not only for the board, but if you put the council hall in your base, they don't have a far distance to actually go just because of the amount of tiles that are available on mountain clearing. But now being one of the saving graces for him, he did put a barracks down back home. So some of his spearmen are starting to come back, but VortiX's outpost that you can see by that gold mine already has arrow slits. So every longbowman that pops out of here might end up getting hit once or twice. And here we go, Merlin with the Burgrave Palace. Welcome to Good Burger.
Yeah, this is just over for VortiX, for B, sorry, I feel. We've talked about this, right, where you have to find value with your Burgrave immediately. B, he's nowhere near aging. You know, this Burgrave is perfect for VortiX. He's going to be able to grab all of those upgrades. Going to be able to grab some blacksmith upgrades, I'm sure, as well. And then after that, he can wipe out this if he wants. He can probably just go straight towards B's base, to be honest.
Yeah, we've talked about Burgrave once or twice, actually, yesterday, about the first, 3 or 4 minutes, once the Burgrave actually goes up and the amount of damage that you can do. You're absolutely right. This sets up perfectly for the Burgrave Palace. Castle Age men-at-arms against something like a few longbowmen and some spearmen. These men-at-arms, as soon as they come out of the palace, they're going to be licking their chops.
VortiX as well. It's not even like he's being denied away from the gold here. B, he's got a decent mass up, but again, all of this just gets countered by what VortiX is about to make here. As soon as this upgrade comes through and a couple men-at-arms make it out, this army is pretty much irrelevant here for B.
And he has enough gold to do this, right? He can get some of the upgrades. His food is relatively untouched because B's mass is all the way on the eastern side. So he still has sheep that are supported by the Aachen Chapel. He still has some deer that are over there as well. So it's all about just getting that food economy in order to push into that English mass. And we're going to see them start to do that. Look at what VortiX did also. Just a real tiny point here. If you click on the Burgrave one more time, you can see where the waypoint is. It's over to the west, and there's a reason why. He wants to mass at least a couple of them. Have 3 or 4 before you get in there. That's exactly what we're seeing here. VortiX going to be able to take it to these longbowmen, Merlin.
Yeah, we can see that, fortunately for B, he does have longbow, has the extra +1 damage compared to regular archers. And as a result of that, they can actually do decent damage to men-at-arms. We see that he's able to take out the first one. So as you say, VortiX is having to mass up these men-at-arms. He's also grabbing himself marching drills, going to be able to get up to these men-at-arms nice and quickly. But Iron Under Mesh is going to be a huge one here for VortiX, considering B doesn't even have his +1 Steeled Arrow attack yet. So I feel like VortiX is in a great spot right here as soon as some of these upgrades come through. And it looks like VortiX is just going to be going straight for the base of 3DB here.
I love this. Absolutely right. VortiX, with the amount of game sense that he has, is impeccable, because with B, and for a lot of us, when we play this game, we see the immediate danger. We see the longbowman and the spearman mass over there. Is that going to torch down your landmarks and end the game? No. Is it getting rid of some of the resources that you need? Yeah, a little bit with the gold, but it's not like you can't find it elsewhere. He's moved his wood line as well. So he's just looking for villagers to raid on B side so that English mass doesn't get massier.
We see VortiX here. He's got plenty of men-at-arms out over here to just wipe up any longbow that make their way out. And VortiX at the same time is pushing onto B's villagers here. We see is able to take out the first men-at-arm there with the short bows, but that's because it was sitting on like 2 health. He's going to have a much more of an issue with these 5 men-at-arms. But interestingly, VortiX isn't grabbing any of the blacksmith upgrades. It's just Iron Under Mesh. I'd love to see this upgrade coming through, because this upgrade really is the game changer when it comes to dealing with longbow and sitting underneath TC fire, especially when you're playing up against the English here when they've got the Gatling gun. But I think the problem here for VortiX, he's got enough resources to grab it, and there we do. There we actually see he is going to be grabbing it.
Yeah, to be honest, I probably would have wanted that instead of the HRE unique technology, giving the men-at-arms a little bit more speed. I mean, yeah, you're going to be able to track down the longbowman a little bit better, but you're still going to get kited. You see these longbowmen, the men-at-arms, they do have a little bit of increased speed. They are still getting kited, though. So, I don't know. Maybe the Iron Under Mesh might have been a better idea. Regardless, though, it will be getting upgraded probably within about 15 to 20 seconds, and then he can really sit under that town center. B notices, puts a blacksmith down, and will most likely be going for Steeled Arrow, because you got to get through that heavy armor somehow.
Yeah, exactly. Now, I'm wondering what B's game plan is behind this, because I feel like so far, what he tried to do hasn't exactly worked out, right? I don't think this was part of the plan. So we'll have to see what he looks to do next, because he's still so far away from an age up. I mean, maybe if he gets some of these blacksmith upgrades and tries and takes out a load of VortiX's economy, he could be looking in a better spot. But we see here VortiX, he's still got a little bit of food left on the berries. And I mean, after that, he can always look to farm transition as well. It's not like he's struggling when it comes to the wood.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, not only now this Gatling gun is really going to start acquiring some ammo here with garrisoning 15. Those were army units, however. So those men-at-arms, look at that. They're going right to where those villagers are, and they have nowhere to go because the army's garrisoned in the main town center. So they're just going to be running for their lives all over the place. B actually spares them, calls the game, and now we have a 1-1 tie heading into game 3. What a crazy one, Merlin.
Yeah, 2 pretty short games back to back here. I think B is trying to get these games over with as quickly as he possibly can. So just sort of going for these all-in plays. It's what he loves anyway, right? He loves these very aggressive early games. And I think this was a good attempt here with the short bow into behind the base council hall rush. You know, VortiX, he just played it so well, pulling all of the villagers, taking out that outpost and stopping the longbow production. So really well played there by VortiX. Able to take the win, which makes it now 1-1 in this best of 5.
I think one of the takeaways from this game is more so about timing and more so about Dark Age timing from B, because we talked about it in Dark Age when B was starting to build his council hall. But man, if he was there 10 seconds earlier, we could be saying something. We could be calling B a genius right now.